Hello everyone, welcome to Cambridge Primary Science Day 6, Chapter 4, Forces and Motion, and today our topic for discussion, mass and weight. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. We measure the mass in units such as grams and kilograms. For example, the boy's mass is 35 kg. So, we are saying that the boy's mass is 35 kg, but the people usually say the boy's weight is 35 kg. But we usually say like this, but in a scientific terms, that is not a weight. We say that this is a weight of a boy, but in a scientific term, that is not a weight, that is a mass. Okay, so here we have to understand the difference between the mass and the weight. That mass is the amount of matter in an object. That is, matter is everything around us. That may be in the form of solid, liquid, and gas. That is the mass. And weight, when the weight comes up, then when there is a weight, there is a gravity also. Okay, when there is a force also. So that is weight. And mass, we can also say that it is a stuff inside you. What you are exactly, the stuff inside you, what you are in you, right? And the stuff inside some object, that is called as a mass. Okay, to understand the difference between mass and weight, we have to think about the force of gravity. In mass, there is no force of gravity, that is inside you, that is the stuff inside you. And in weight, we use the force of gravity. So all the objects are attracted to the earth by the gravity, as we know that. So what is gravity? Does everyone know the concept of gravity? So gravity is the force of attraction between the objects, two objects that have mass. We understand that mass is the something inside you or the stuff inside you, that is the matter. So gravity is a force of attraction between the two objects that have mass. The two objects must have mass, right? Only then the gravity force will attract, okay, that two objects. So gravity acts everywhere in the universe, not just on the earth. And we understand more about the gravity in our next slides. So the bigger the mass of an object is, the bigger the force of attraction towards the earth. Okay, if there is a bigger mass of an object, right, you say that if some object has a bigger mass, then the bigger force is required, okay, to attract it towards the earth. If the object has a smaller mass, then less force is required, less gravitational force is required, okay, that we can understand. Like you can say that earth has more gravitational force than the moon, because earth has a bigger mass than the moon. Okay, what is the amount of attraction on an object caused by the gravity? Objects with a bigger mass have a bigger weight. The objects which have a bigger mass, they have a bigger force of attraction, and they have also a bigger weight. How they have a bigger weight? Weight comes where there is a force of gravity. If there is more force of gravity, and then the weight will come. Okay. We measure the weight in a unit called Newton. We measure the mass in grams and kilograms. Okay. We never measure the weight in kgs. We measure the weight in Newton. Newtons are named after Sir Isaac Newton, a scientist who lived in England about 400 years ago. He was the first person to explain what forces are. So we use these scales to measure the mass, and we use this force meter to measure the weight. You have to learn these points, that we have to use scales to measure the mass and force meter to measure the weight. So let's discuss the difference between the mass and the weight. Mass, the quantity of matter in a body is called mass. That means the stuff inside you or the quantity of matter in a body is called mass. Okay. Mass of a body is constant everywhere in the universe. It will not change. Mass can be determined by the ordinary balance, which we have seen in the previous slide, the balance, how the mass is measured. Mass does not change according to its location, either whether it is on moon or on earth, it will not change. Mass usually is measured in grams and kilograms, and the unit of mass is kilogram. Now discuss about the weight. Weight is the force by which the earth attracts towards its center. So where the weight comes, there is always a gravitational force. Weight of a body varies from place to place and becomes zero at the center of the earth and far away from the earth's surface. So when the weight of a body varies, it will change from the weight never remains the same. It will change from place to place. That means varies means it will change from place to place and will become zero at the center of the earth and far away from the earth's surface. So it will become zero at the center of earth and it will vary from place to place. Weight can be zero if there is no gravity acts upon the object as in space. In the space also it will become zero if no gravity acts. But in the center of the earth the weight is always zero because there is no gravitational force. When there is no gravity, then the weight will be zero. And weight depends on the effect of gravity is according to the location. And the gravity effect depends on, I already said, depends upon the location. When it is on earth or on the moon, that is the gravity uh, pull towards the earth of the gravitational pull on the moon. It depends upon which highly, the weight highly depends on the gravity. Weight is measured using a spring balance, and that spring balance is used always, remember, to measure the weight, and that is a force meter. And weight is often measured in newtons, a unit of force. That is a newton's unit of force, and unit of weight is newton. So the unit of mass is kilogram and the unit of weight is newton, and it is measured by using a spring balance, and that is measured by using a ordinary balance. And the mass of the body remains constant. The weight varies from place to place. When it is on moon or it is on earth, it will change and it will become zero at the center of the earth. These points you have to keep in mind. Are all the objects pulled down onto the earth by the gravity? How are the moon or the orbiting objects affected by the gravity? So gravity is the force of attraction by any two objects which have mass, right? If there are two objects and like earth and moon and they have the gravitational force between them, it is not only the earth have a gravitational force, both the earth and moon have the gravitational force between them, and it is also required that both the objects must have a mass. If there is no mass, there is no gravitational force. So earth's pull on the moon, because the moon is so much smaller and so far away from the earth's force of gravity, right? Earth pull on the moon. It tried to pull on the moon, but it is so much smaller, means it has a less mass and it is far away. The distance, mass and distance, they are the two factors, right? Moon is smaller, has a less mass and far away distance. So Earth is not able to, is not, Earth's force of gravity is not strong enough to pull it down towards the Earth, right? Because of the mass and because of the distance, Earth's force of gravity is not strong enough to pull down the moon towards the earth. So instead, the earth force of gravity holds the moon in a path. It's not able to pull down towards the earth, but it holds the moon in a path, and that path around the earth is called as an orbit. I hope it is clear that the path around the earth is called as an orbit. So moon, so instead of the earth force of gravity holds the moon in a path, instead the earth's force of gravity holds the moon in a path around the earth called an orbit. And the moon also pulls on the earth. It's not the earth pulling the moon also pulls on the earth, but with the gravitational force which is about 1 by 6 of that on the earth. Okay, the moon's gravitational force is less than that of the earth. That's moon's gravitational force is 1 by 6 of the earth. And earth's gravitational is 6 times higher than the moon. The objects that have more mass exert more gravitational force. The moon has a smaller mass than the earth. Okay, the moon has a smaller mass than the earth, so its gravitational pull on earth is smaller, and the earth's gravitational pull is higher because earth has a more mass. There is another reason why the force of gravity on the moon is less than on the earth. This is another reason. Okay, planets in the solar system move in an orbit around the sun due to the sun's gravitational force. Sun's gravitational pull, because sun pull the objects, and that is why the planets in the solar system, they move in an orbit because of the sun's gravitational pull. So let us take the example of the weight on the earth and on the moon. Suppose a person's weight is 40 kg, but we'll not say that is weight, that is the mass. Weight we consider when there is a mass and the gravitational force. So we say this is the mass 40 kg and this is the gravitational, this is the gravity. Okay, you just give this number to the gravity, 9.81. Then if this is mass and this is gravity, when this multiplied by each other, we called it as a weight. Here comes the weight of a person, that is Newton, 392.4 Newton on earth. So this 9.81 means that the objects on the earth will accelerate. That means it go faster. The objects on the earth will go at faster, and that is the gravity, 9.81. Okay, that you have to keep in mind right at this point of time, that 9.81 is the gravity, that the objects on the earth will accelerate, or it will go faster at 9.81 gravitational gravity, right? So this is the weight, and the weight on the moon is 40 kg, that is mass, and 1.625. From where it comes 1.625? We said that the gravity on the earth, the gravity on the moon is 1 by 6th of that of the earth, right? We explained in the previous slide. So when we do one, that is the gravity on the earth, and if we do 9.8 into 1 by 6, then that comes 1.625. Here on the moon gravity pull force, how it comes 1.62? That is when we have done that, when we'll do that 9.81 gravity, 1 by 6 of 9.81 means 1 by 6th of Earth's gravity, then there will be a moon's gravity. And when we multiply this moon's gravity with the mass, here comes the weight of the person, that is 65 newtons on the moon. So if the mass is 40 kg, gravity pulls a force of 9.81. So the weight is 392.4, and on the moon there is 1.62 multiplied by 40. How it comes 1.62? That is the gravity on the moon is 1 by 6 of that of the earth, that is 9.81 multiplied by 1 by 6, that is 1.62. And when we multiply both, we get the weight of a person on the moon, that is 65 newtons. I hope it is clear. So gravity is a force of attraction between the two objects that have mass. Gravity acts everywhere in the universe, not only on earth. We have seen that it acts on moon also. It is a force that keeps the moon orbiting around the earth, right? Yes, there is a force. Earth gravitational pull is not that strong enough that it pulls the moon down. So that is why the moon and the planets are orbiting, the moon orbiting around the earth, and the planets are orbiting around the sun because of the sun gravitational force, right? And because of the earth's gravitational force, moon is orbiting around the earth, and because of the sun gravitational force, planets are orbiting around the sun. The two main factors that affect the size of force of gravity, that is the mass and the distance. Because the moon is so far away, and moon has a less mass, that is the example how this affect the gravity. Because the moon is so far away, then there comes a distance, and the moon has a less mass as compared to Earth, so there is a less mass, and when there is both the factors that affect the size of force of gravity, and that's why the Earth is not able to pull the moon down and the moon is orbiting around the Earth. So the two factors affect the force of gravity. The size of the gravitational force depends on the distance between the objects. The farther apart the objects are, smaller the gravitational force between them. In the moon and the earth, we have seen the smaller the gravitational force because of the farther the objects are. For a spacecraft, example, traveling towards the Mars, Earth's gravitational pull decreases as the spacecraft distance from the Earth increases. When there is a large distance between the two objects, there is a less gravitational force. For example, the spacecraft traveling towards the Mars, and the Earth's gravitational pull decreases. How it decreases? Because the spacecraft distance from the Earth increases. When the spacecraft from the earth in distance of the earth increases and it goes near towards the Mars, the earth's gravitational pull decreases. Okay, then the gravitational pull of Mars becomes greater than the earth's and the spacecraft is more attracted towards the Mars. Okay, when it is go nearer to the Mars, then the Mars gravitational force is more than that of the earth's gravitational force, right? The more mass an object has, greater the magnitude of the gravitational force. Because the sun's mass is so great, it exerts a large gravitational force on the planets, and that is why reason that the planets orbit around the sun. Gravity pulls everything towards its center. Gravity gives objects their weight. More mass means more weight because there is more for gravity to pull on. Okay, because if there is a more mass in any object, the more gravity is required to pull on that object. That means more weight. Okay. On the earth, gravity is downward force that affects all the objects. And for example, how it is a downward force? Like when you hold a book, you exert a force that balances the force of gravity. Okay, and when you let go of the book, the gravity becomes unbalanced force and the book falls. So this is how they've explained the gravity. When you hold a book, you are exerting a force to balance that book. That is the force of gravity. Okay, it is a downward force that affects when you hold the book, only then the book will not fall. But there is a gravitational force that pull the objects downward. But when you leave the book will fall. There is an unbalanced force when you, because you get tired and you are not able to hold the book in your hands, you leave the book will fall, and there is an unbalanced force and the book will fall, and there is the book will let go down. Okay, then the gravity becomes unbalanced force. What happens to a ball that is thrown up in the air? If you hold the ball and drop it, what happens? Gravity is the force that pulls the object downwards. For the long time, scientists didn't know what made the objects fall to the earth. Isaac Newton realized there was a force that pulled the objects downwards, and that force is gravity. All the forces are measured in units called newtons, and Isaac Newton discovered and explained a lot about the forces. So what makes the ball that it is thrown up in the air? What happens to the ball? It rises when you fall. When you throw the ball in the air, the ball will rise and then suddenly it will fall. It rises and then it falls. This happens because the gravity pulls the objects downwards. Our next question. Why do astronauts float in space? The astronauts float in space because they are too far away from the earth to experience the pull of gravity. Here the point of distance comes up, that because they are too far away from the earth to experience the pull of gravity, so that's why they float in space. There is a very little gravity in space to pull the astronauts downwards, so astronauts float. Therefore, they have no weight in space, but still they have their original mass. Which has larger mass, 10 gram of feathers or 10 gram of sand? There is often a misconception at this level that the objects that are light, they have a smaller mass. but it is not correct. Both have the same mass, right? Feathers and sand, they have the same mass, 10 gram each, but the major difference is the volume. But a bigger volume of matter is needed to make up the 10 gram of feathers. There is a bigger volume in feathers than that of the sand, right? Let's discuss about the force meter. Force meter contain a spring connected to a metal hook. You can see the hook on which there are weights, and hang the force meter from your finger. If you are measuring the objects with the smaller masses, it is easy to measure the objects with the smaller masses with your finger, otherwise your finger will get hurt. The things which we are required for measuring the objects like spring balance, hook, and the weight. And there's a pointer inside the spring, the force meter, that is of red color point dot, which you can see that is showing the weight of an object. In the first one, 100 gram, there is a, you can see there is inside the pointer that is of red dot, which is showing that the weight is of 100 grams, the mass is of 100 grams, and after that you can see the 50 grams, and after that there is a 500 grams. So hook is a place where you have put the different size of the weights, and we can see their measurement, that is 100 gram, 50 gram, and 500 gram. So let us take three weights. When we hang the weight, the heavier the object, pointer will come down. In the 50 gram, the pointer is at the top, 100 gram it will come slightly down, and the 500 gram it will go far down, and the pointer will go down. So we can measure the forces with the force meter, and weight is a force measured in Newton. So this is a force meter, as we have discussed in the previous slides, that the force meter carries the weight, and that we have measured the weight in the grams, and how we convert these grams into the newtons. We have to see that this is a spring balance or the force meter, and on the left hand side you see the newtons, and the right hand side is showing the grams. And 1 kg is equal to 9.8 newtons, or approximately 10 newtons, and 1 newton equal to 101.97 grams, or approximately 100 grams. You can see in the figure that 1 newton equal to 100 grams, and 100 gram mass are 0.98 newtons on earth. It's approximately 0.98 is approximately 1 newton. You can see different figures everywhere. So how to convert 100 grams to the newtons? Using gram to Newton conversion tool, you know that 1 gram is equivalent to 0.0098 and so on Newton. Hence, to convert the gram to Newton, we just need to multiply the number by this number, 0.0098. We are going to use very simple gram to Newton conversion formula, and please see the calculation. Here it is. Convert 100 gram to Newton. If we have to convert the 100 grams into the Newton, we have to multiply by 0.0098. If we have to convert the 200 grams into Newton, we have to do 200 multiply by 0.0098. In the same way, 300, 500, we can convert the grams into the newtons. So this is the table. 100 grams, we that is the number for 0.980 Newton is equal to, and 200 grams, when we multiply 0.980 into 200, 300 grams, when we multiply 0.98 with 300. In the same way, 900 grams, 900 multiply by 0.98, you will get this value, 8.825. Thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe my channel. Bye.